We literally have not run into anyone's Nim age this entire campaign. I really hope Nim's not trying to romance a child.
Yeah,
Or
romancing
people in
Rob
their
would be a little
30s.
weird. So I hear you know power word kill.
Yeah. Well, no, we also met other children. You remember that, right?
I
Yeah, but
know.
it's the only child with a name.
Yeah.
It's literally the only child that was
So his
notable
name.
and had a name. I really
mean-
don't think you would have understood what I said if I said, "Oh yeah, like that child that was in the field." I feel like you might
That
have
would have made
questioned what
perfect sense because you didn't give it a name. But also, again,
I don't know what you do and don't get.
a lot of things.
I know, and that doesn't help me understand any better.
Anyways, Kiala asked Samson what else he would want to play.
I don't know. Maybe like a lute?
Well, I'm sure Nim would buy you one. Or 7.
Do you have a preference in material? I know someone who sells golden loots.
What about a self-playing one?
That,
See, there is one of those, but no magic items.
that seems to defeat the purpose of me getting something to play for fun. Unless we start a band.
I mean, I could hire someone who always follows you and teach you how to play every time you pull your loot.
Nim literally hires a bard for the party to squire Samson.
I feel like it'd be hard to hire anyone in the position we're in.
Not really.
Do you know how many
Bards will
artists...
do anything for enough money.
Do you know how many artists exist in the world that would die at the chance to do anything that made them feel like what they do matters? They don't call them starving artists for no reason, Samson.
Just don't starve. That works in my experience.
They're starving? Oh, those poor people.
Not always. You know, artists usually don't get paid enough. It's a real shame.
I get paid in rent.
I don't get paid.
Zanzibar's
like
gonna
to?
look at...
Yeah, I was just like, you guys are getting paid.
Zanzibar's gonna give Nim like a weird look like, what the hell are you talking about? And then he's gonna be like, oh, her. Okay. And then he's just gonna go back to like leaning against the wall, making like a flipping motion with his hand.
Oh, by the way, we're about 2 minutes over that 1 minute.
Yeah, I don't know. I was just getting other things I felt I needed. Anyway, you're all ready?
No.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, that's too bad. I'm gonna drop you in your dorm room. Fair enough?
And I'm gonna sit there. Nim does not reply.
Oh wait, aren't we going to Nim's house?
Dorm. For some reason.
Don't
Well-
forget to put the child back upstairs first.
Oh, yeah, can you get Mr. Golem down here?
Nim will do so. I don't feel like dropping Mr. Golem on the thing, so he does it.
Swoop,
And then Hiala picks up Samson.
swoop.
The reason I didn't put him on the board is because he was gonna immediately go off board.
Kiala's just gonna pick up Samson?
Yeah.
Okay.
Scoop? Wow. Travel. How's Yella carrying Samson?
Boldly.
Over her head.
Confidently.
She's just carrying him. She's just holding him like Rafiki held Simba.
Nah. Just Merry Maker.
The cowboy that I love.
No.
Ah, Merrymaker, I'm gonna hug him all night.
And throw him out the window.
I hope he can fly.
Would you? I sure hope you got the
Just
flying spell
then,
scroll.
Burr sprouts wings and flies through the sky.
How about this? I'll go invisible so you guys don't see me splat.
Once you go splat, wouldn't you uninvisible?
Yeah, wouldn't that be an attack against the ground?
No, the ground's just attacking back.
But if someone was underneath you,
There we go.
It's Burris was underneath you.
Actually, technically, that also doesn't count as an attack.
sad. Disappointment.
Which means that you can go invisible and just body slam people. And
Yay.
still be invisible.
Nice.
And then cast Dragon's Breath on them.
Nice.
And then they just start breathing fire
So-
for no reason.
So you jump at them while invisible, land on them to give them half the damage, breathe on them with Dragon's Breath, and then Misty Step back up 30 feet and fall on them again. And
Yay.
all of that damage does not break invisibility.
Woo!
Wait, is Misty Step an action or a bonus action?
Bonus action.
Oh. Also, yeah, I got curious and decided to calculate it. If you were to fall from the very top of the tower all the way to the ground, you'd have to roll 100 d6s.
But, oh, I guess, what?
Well, I completely, well, tangentially related to your giant rift. I was curious how much damage somebody would take from the top of the tower if they jumped off.
I mean,
So, at 1d6 every 10 feet, at 1,000 feet, it would be 100 d6s.
well, it does cap at 20.
Does it?
Yeah, that's the terminal velocity for, fall damage.
Right. Terminal velocity is this thing. God, D&D accounts for terminal velocity, but doesn't account for, like, the most mundane of things sometimes. D&D's
I
whack.
feel like its problem is sometimes it does account for mundane things.
Not in this case. That's good
Uh,
that your terminal velocity caps.
Yeah, that's another, play the cookies for another
Cookies?
me.
Because,
I
like,
want cookies. I had a brain fart, and then all I could think of was cookies.
Cookie. I want
These
a
are
cookie.
very tasty.
Do I have cookie? I might have cookie.
Share?
Hold on.
Share?
I think. Let's see. Not cookie. Not cookie. Also not cookie. Yeah, I finished the last of my firework Oreos, so I don't have those.
Dang.
But I might have something else.
Those things are inexperienced.
Are they?
I love.
I've never had them.
They put Pop Rocks in the Oreo cream.
Pop Rocks
What?
Cooper.
Mm-hmm.
That
I love-
sounds-
They're firework Oreos, so they have to explode.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds
In your
kinda
face.
whack.
And it's like a pretty decent concentration for Oreo.
Yeah. I was
I remember-
surprised.
I remember I took like one of the last ones in the pack and I just licked the cream off first and foremost.
Oh, I have Milano.
Share?
No, I only have one.
What the?
It's not the cookie I wanted. It's the cookie I got.
What? It's Milano's. How could you not want those?
No, I know, and it's good. But I was looking
Man.
for something more cookie shaped.
I absolutely adore the fucking the mint dark chocolate
Yes.
Milanos.
Oh,
Oh boy!
I love
Those-
every
they put
single
crack in
kind
those, I
of
think.
Milano.
Pepperidge Farm remembers what makes a cookie good.
hell yeah.
Oh man. Bless their souls.
But anyway, cookie discussions aside, Hyala, have we established how Hyala is carrying Samson?
Boldly.
Just normal?
Well, I'm going to assume that means piggyback ride.
No.
Is it really important on how how he's being carried?
Mm.
Yeah, it's just like, what's it, bridal style or whatever.
Yeah, one of those options.
Samson's gotten pretty used to this.
That's what I just consider to be normally picking someone up.
Everyone just
Hyala.
gets carried bridal style.
Except that time, Hyala carried him like a sack of potatoes under one arm.
And
Or when
since-
Nim's like in a child form, I assume you would just carry them on one hip because it's easier.
Maybe.
Nothing is funnier than a human being just tucked under someone's arm.
It is good.
It's so funny.
It looked funny too. So yeah, Zanzibar will gesture for everybody to climb into the gondola.
Which is like, what, like over here or something?
It's the 15 feet above the log.
Oh, so like here?
Yeah, pretty much. He just carved
Yeah.
it where the log was.
Nim can't go out like this. Nim still has the words, right?
Yeah.
Nim can't go out like this.
He will literally. I don't think you're fully comprehending this. He will literally pick you up and just put you in the gondola.
That is fine. Nim will
Okay.
not.
He picks you up and puts you in the gondola like an object.
Nim, I hate to be the one to tell you this, saying Samson being carried bridal style. But I don't think you're the one with. I don't think you got all the cards in your hand here.
I don't understand what that means. Also, Nim's covering her face. I don't understand what that means.
I don't think you're in the negotiating role here.
I'm not trying to negotiate. Who can go out like this?
No one.
Witches, ogres, trolls.
They do it by choice.
Gerald.
Also does it by choice.
Does Hyala say that out loud?
No, Hyala doesn't remember Gerald. Give me a break.
And you can
That was
do
like
it by
months
choice
ago.
too. I believe in you.
No, you don't. That's a lie. Second of all, witches do it by choice. Third of all, ogres don't care about those things. Oh, orcs, not ogres.
I never
What's a
lie.
witch?
Just hope you don't meet one.
Mm.
Okay.
I've met plenty of witches that are completely decent people.
I thought it was just a slur for magic user.
Technically, that's what it started out like. Or technically, that's what it became. Wasn't.
Oh, good on them for reclaiming it.
Yeah.
All the witches in the house.
Now it's kind of used like in spite of it. Proud people of those witches. Very, very industrious. Although they are in the category of do not mince your words with them. Word plays.
Mincing is for meat.
Mincing is for meat, not for words. Alright, here we go. Then Zanzibar will start pushing the gondola forward, and he'll snap his fingers, and a dimensional door will open up, and you'll see the port of Zanzibar on the other side, right by the docks. And I'll push
Is
you
that the
guys-
right port?
Does Kiala say that, or is...
She thinks it.
Is that the right port?
Yeah, it's the port of Zanzibar. I
Oh,
can't
I was just
necessarily open up the dimensional door in the desert to the ocean. You know how much? I mean, for every second that'll be open, non-native sand's gonna dump into the ocean. Gotta care about the environment, you know.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I like the idea that he's steering a gondola over sand through a portal into different sand.
He's literally just like pushing you guys through the portal and down the beach into the water. Alright.
Scene transition.
Scene transition. Scene transition.
Gaspoo.
My hat!
I thought Yala had it, honestly.
Oh my gosh, the old icons.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
yeah.
I just got whiplash.
Samson being like the least drastic of them all.
Disgusting.
And he'll...
How do you remove an icon?
Press delete, right?
Yeah, you just highlight it and hit the delete key.
I do not think we can.
Yeah, I don't have
Not in
that.
this system.
That's literally how I get rid of all the tokens.
You are
Yes.
the GM.
Yeah.
You have additional abilities.
That shouldn't be the case. You should be allowed to get rid of...
You aren't.
Oh, wait a minute. Wow. You definitely have some way to delete tokens. Nim's
No,
gotten
we
rid of
don't.
Mr. Golem. Yes, you have.
I have not, ever.
Oh,
You did that every time.
that's weird.
New yellow.
There has to be a way to fix that.
I mean, probably, but now it's not really relevant to.
I'll have to ask my co-DM.
Who probably also has to look it up.
I'll ask my co-DM. So anyway...
Let us know what they say.
Huh?
Let us know what they say.
Okay, I will, when they get back to me. But yeah, so he pushes the gondola into the water, hops in the boat, and, as he starts using the oar to paddle out, he'll just look at Samson and is like, "You want to take a try?"
Sure.
Alright. Just do what I was doing. Left, right, left, right. If you go too far one side, probably gonna start turning the boat.
Then Yella has to let go. Frowny face.
No, Samson will do it from Yala's.
Yeah, no,
He's just
she was
gonna
just like sitting with him on her lap and her arms around him, but she just like lets go when he says he wants to drive the boat.
Oi! Do you want me to roll for it?
My first instinct is performance, but I want to give you another option. But I don't know if it's quite an athletics check.
I don't think it'd be performance, because I'm
Yeah.
not sure what his, like, confidence in himself has to do.
Fake it till you make it.
I'm thinking performance as in the definite, one of the, what is it, like the second or third definition of it, which is to perform an action.
Yeah, but this is still like a strength-based check.
True.
Okay, so, I only have something for maintaining land vehicles, not sea vessels.
You have no sea vesselage?
Nope. Surprisingly, the man from the desert country has little he can do in knowledge with,
Let's see. Want to give me an athletics at disadvantage?
Sure. Oh, what the thing I was thinking of? Huh. I didn't realize there was a food and water section.
We'll say DC 14 since you've never done it before.
Okay. You said 14?
Yeah, 14, but also at disadvantage because you have.
With athletics?
Yes. Huh. Yeah, you do a decent job. The boat stays straight. You had one job and you did it well. Congratulations. And while you're doing that, Zanzibar will open up another dimensional door. And it will be... Oh god, what's it called?
Made of fruit?
No, not made of fruit. Unfortunately. Unfortunately.
Tads.
I have fruit. Should I eat some fruit?
Yes,
Yeah.
it's good for you.
Okay.
Mhm.
Shay and
I
I were
have-
eating peaches.
I wanted
I-
to, but peaches are a bit too messy.
I have
Tad.
canned peaches and canned lychees.
Wow.
Canned lychee.
Yeah. I got a discount on it because the can has a huge dent in it.
Yay!
Woo! Discount for superficial garbage!
Yeah. I didn't even know Lidl sold lychee.
Well, now you know. And knowing is half the battle.
The
Paying
other
for
half
it's the
is
rest of
murder.
it.
Oh. Or you could do it that way, I guess.
I mean, murder can pay for it.
Yeah.
Skill-based
Yeah.
economy.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what's
So-
in the portal?
The portal is a port that you and Samson have never seen before, but Nim knows
Whoa.
that it's the number 5,
Oh.
the Moon Harbor. What are you trying to say, Mr. Ed?
Portal?
Ha!
No.
Ha!
Minus 20 HP. Drink some water.
Twice. Ah!
I'm not going to lie, that happened. I thought I broke something.
Yeah, I was typing and I was like, what did I do?
Oh god, more new icons!
More old new icons.
Ooh, furry Samson. Is it bad that I think these 3 icons are some of my favorite icons?
Why?
The
One
not
is
party.
Literally just a basic white chick that I googled.
Oh, you just ripped that
Didn't you
from
draw
Google
that?
Images?
Or am I
Yeah, no, like Jake
No,
can
but
tell
she
you 'cause I was
based it off of a generic image.
Yeah, I typed in generic white chick, and then I gave her a top I saw on like kids when I was in high school. That's it.
I don't know.
That's-
I just like it.
You have literally discussed the process of making an original character.
Yeah.
No, but I wanted her to be generically original.
But like, I don't know.
Yeah?
I just like it.
I mean, that's fine. I was just saying.
Anyways.
You weren't just saying. You
What?
literally started out with why. You in
Look at
fact
their
asked.
doppelgangers.
I'm not going to. Yeah, that's exactly what I thought. Where we just go up here, it's like, It's just like the meme of them pointing at each other, like in a mirror.
Yeah.
That is also still one of my favorite pictures of Nim. I like the hair. The hair is nice. Wait, no, hold on. I got it. I need to borrow. I need to borrow your icon, Jade. Please. Okay, I'll set up the other ones. God damn it! Oh god, how do I rotate it? Got it.
Samson, help! Help!
I got you, Shell, but
Please,
not
please
Shell the
stop.
name because of something.
Gallant.
Talent. Gala covered in matcha powder.
Yay!
There, now Yala's looking at Yala, looking at Samson. Samson is saluting at Yala, and Nim is staring to camera while Nim points at Nim.
Nah, Nim's focused on something else.
I'm talking about the pit. Okay.
It's okay. Shay doesn't have her glasses on.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
No!
Oh, that's the odd one now. I couldn't tell which one was left. I almost deleted Nim's icon, and I'm like, wait, no. There's one Tabaxi too many here.
What is up with people and, like, trying to delete the thing I'm doing right now?
It's funny.
I see what you mean.
You are welcome for that explanation.
Yeah.
I charge by the hour.
Oh, really? I'm charging a whole semester.
But yeah. Y'all pull up into the port on these really, really, like, awful looking docks. Like, you see some of them are layers up for, like, really, really big ships. Others are really low to the water, but it's quite industrial and not very clean.
Can I
Can
look
you?
for thieves' cans?
When you pull up, yeah. But Zanzibar is gonna pull up the gondola and let you guys off. And I'm assuming y'all get off the boat?
Yeah.
It's got different.
Samson will, so wait, does Zanzibar take back the oar to park?
Yeah.
Okay. So then, yeah, Samson will, he'll probably get back on the, like, he'll probably hop onto the deck since he was so close to the front, and then, like, hold a hand out for Hyala.
Takes it.
And what'd you say, Shay?
And
Nim's focused on something else.
and then hold a hand out for Nim.
Nim is focused on something else.
Nim, we're here.
Nim does not hear you.
Nim, we're here! Hello? Hey. Samson's gonna take his quarterstaff and like poke Nim with it. Nim? Are you still with us?
Hyala hops back in the boat. Sits next to Nim. Pats her on the head.
The buns fall off.
As this Nim was made of hay the whole time!
It was a simulacrum. Nim melts.
Damn.
We didn't even do damage to her.
Well, no more Nim. Let's go.
The quarterstaff.
A Nimulacrum?
It's a cheaper version. It doesn't take 10,000 gold. It only takes 3.
Yay.
3,000
Damn.
or just 3?
3,000.
Oh, I was about to say, if you said 3, I'm like, damn, Nim's cheap.
I was literally about to say, damn, name's cheap.
Yeah, but Nim will like bury her face in Hyala.
Kyala keeps patting.
Oh, my phone died. Power around.
Uh-oh.
Alright, Nim's burying her face in the fur. Sam's
Yeah.
poking Nim with a quarterstaff, and Kyala is patting.
No, he'll stop poking her once she actually buries her face in Yala.
Okay, what do?
I'm trying to decide words, so I'm stalling for time, one could say. So if anyone else has words, go for it.
I'll be right back. I just gotta use the restroom.
Have fun, Tinkle.
Ew.
Maybe.
Maybe. Gives me a good chance to change the music. Wow! Rheindorf music!
La la la. La la la. La.
Speaking of Rheindorf, you did mark down where Nim lives, right? Where Emma lives, I mean?
Yeah, you... It was like, wasn't it?
It's somewhere around here, I think.
Yeah, here. What? Wait, was it here or was it here?
I know I sent a picture, because I didn't X, I just don't remember, like, where. I'm pretty sure it's in one of the pinned
Because
messages.
3 is the Silver Harbor, which is also fine. There's probably some housing there, but 2 is also Hollyworth, which is an actual, like, residential district. In fact, if I remember correctly, it might actually be within, like, this little circle I'm making. Do not mind how shitty my circle is. Wait, I can do better. I can do better!
There's a tool that makes an actual
I
circle.
know! That's what I'm doing.
I don't see that.
Might be like here. I seem to remember
Oh.
the circle you made being there. Because I remember at the same time there was like a discrepancy with the map where the legend ended up getting fucked up and 2 and 3 were flipped.
Yeah, I think I may have marked it where 2 and 3 were.
Yeah. And you were like, oh, Hollyworth. And then I looked at the circle, I'm like, that's way too far north. And then I looked at the legend, and I'm like, oh shit. And then I had to go fix everything, which was long, annoying, and tedious. But we got it sorted out, so it was somewhere. And I am sure we will figure out our place again.
Let's.
Number 9 is still one of my favorite places.
Why is that?
Read the name.
I'm looking for the thing as we wait for Rebel to come back.
Because that's the gate of the Chimkin. Gate of the Chimkin.
When were we last in Rheindorf?
When we were here last.
Yeah, but do you remember a day by any chance?
Day?
Tuesday. It
I
was
think
Tuesday.
this is when we were doing Thursday stuff.
This was
Oh,
Thursday.
that's yeah. That's what you mean by day. I thought you meant like day of the weekend campaign. I'm like,
Lol.
I'm back.
Hello.
Welcome back.
It
Merry
me.
Christmas.
Premise.
You've
What'd
been
I
gone a
get?
while. You
Holy
got
shit.
Yeah, you
Kate.
missed all of Nim's discussion about our biggest problem with vanity and stuff.
Yeah.
I imagine I did. I was only gone for like a
3
second.
years.
wow, multiverse.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute.
You can watch that, Ed. It's multiverse. What the fuck?
Man, could I post any less dumb crap in any server?
No.
Yeah, that
The
is,
answer is yes, but if you're asking should you, that's a different.
the answer is also yes. And also yes, that is an interaction in multiverse.
Damn.
Velma literally does call the cops on people as an attack.
What is he, an old man saying, "Get off my lawn"?
No. a
Velma
famous-
from Scooby-Doo? No, she's not.
She does kind of act like it sometimes.
True. Velma's like the worst scientist I've ever seen.
Whoa. I thought I was the worst scientist you've ever seen.
I forget you're a scientist sometimes.
See? Exactly.
I mean, I guess that means you just don't tell us that you're in science all the time.
It was her job for a while.
And?
So how's Nim doing?
Oh, not good. Nim's like muttering 13 words a second right now.
Can Hella pick up what she's saying?
Is it in common?
Give me 1 second. There's a coin. I didn't hit anything. You can't prove it. What? No.
Yeah.
Hey, a coin.
Yeah, I mean, Nim can speak common, undercommon, primordial, or celestial, and Hella would understand. Anything else, no.
What one can I just say out of spite that I know no one speaks real quick?
Goblin.
Goblin.
All of it is a goblin. And then also some dwarfish in there. With random bits of common, just like, I can't believe it's happened like this.
I can't believe you've done this.
Can't believe you've done this.
So that's Nim. Having a moment.
But yeah, Hella will be like, I know. I understand. She doesn't. But she's just like giving the like vague words of affirmation.
I understand. It totally
She's
doesn't
giving
understand.
she's giving her the reassuring girl talk.
My race decidedly doesn't get acne, so
I decided that my race does not get acne. Not you, like, I just imagine Yala saying that and it makes it funny.
I mean she wouldn't know what it is.
Yeah.
Or like whack me.
Acme.
But yeah. Kale's gonna look at Zanzibar. Are you finished?
And he's just like tying the gondola to the dock. And he looks at the knot he's making. One more loop. There.
And pull, and your shoes are looking cool. Oh shit, what did I just close out of?
Yeah, that should do it.
So you'll fix whatever this is then?
Huh? Why?
So that we can keep going and we don't have to sit here on the boat for another extended period
And
of
deal with
time?
whatever this is.
Oh, I was just going to pick her up after about like 2 minutes and kick her into a portal to a dormer.
I don't think that's going to accomplish anything.
I've got eternity.
Well,
No one else does.
Shell's just gonna be like, ah, well if that's the case. Hey Nim,
Nim's still muttering obscenities.
I know
Not
before
obscenities.
you talked about stuff you liked, like getting a facial. Would that help your situation?
You just hear no, and what you assume to be no, and
In
several
7
other
different languages.
Yes.
What would help?
I mean, if enough didn't do it, I think it might just be Zanzibar.
Could we cover it? Shell's just picturing Nim with like a paper bag over her.
For
Zanzibar-
reasons my
First-
identity must remain
First you say no
anonymous.
maidens, and then you're like, we can cover with paper bag.
You're the one
Yeah.
who thinks she's so ugly she can't go out. Hyala does not
No,
care.
you're absolutely right.
So,
Hyala will
Bag.
just be like, you can draw whatever face on it that you like.
Hey, you're really good at drawing.
Zanzibar's just looking around the dice like, I'm sure that if you push comes
Shut
to
up.
shove.
You've lost talking privileges.
Kella, actually?
Yeah?
Samson, roll perception.
He's great at that.
At advantage.
I'm great at that. Oh shit, I am. I said that before I looked at the roll.
Yeah. Meanwhile, the rest of us see it and you're like, I'm great at that. It's like, oh, yes.
I'm great at that. Oh shit, I am.
So, Samson, like, on pure instinct, shoots his face over to Zanzibar. And he just sees Zanzibar slow turning, and he gets this pit in his stomach like he thinks he's about to become single again.
Think he's about to what now?
Become single again?
Oh hell no! Now he jumps back on the boat.
Yeah.
I thought that was a fish.
Yeah. Hyala will just be like, is there anything that would help Nim?
A knife.
I thought we
knife
already
didn't-
had that.
This is a conversation I should put a bit more focus into, but I'm trying to find that stupid picture.
Which picture?
The one where Emma lives. But I post so much crap in every channel, I'm having trouble. But,
Eventually Hyala will be like, would you mind if I pick you up so we could at least walk around?
can I stay like this?
Of course.
You'll feel Nim nod.
Hyala will, pick Nim up so that her face is still hidden by Hyala's poofy shoulders. Yeah. She'll sort of hobble off the boat as carefully as she can, with a whole teenager in her arms.
That That shouldn't be a funny visual, but it is.
It is. Kel is just the carrier of the party.
Yes.
Kiala bears the party's burdens, but who will bear Kiala's? Samson.
Barty.
The party.
Kel.
That should be what the Oops All Bards party is called.
The Barty.
The party.
I'm so glad something I said worked.
What else did you need to say?
I for the life of me don't know. I think one of those solar flares fried my neurons for a
That's
second.
what happens to me every time I try to remember a thing.
404 not found.
Yeah.
Something about Hyala being strong to carry the party, which are burdens, or something. I don't remember.
Kel just goes, I'm the strong one. I'm not nervous. As tough as the crust of the earth is. That song is on the TOZ playlist.
I'm not surprised. In fact, I learned of that song because you said that.
Woo.
Before that, it was just a movie whose name I really had a hard time remembering. If you
That
remember.
one word. Yeah.
Encounter, the best movie.
I don't see
Damn,
it.
if that was the name, I would have remembered it.
I would have remembered. It would have been important enough to recall.
Yeah.
Cowboys.
No.
Loop. Oh, loops.
You're gonna hear Nim muttering off and on.
Kel is gonna look out in the directions they could go. Which one's the nicest looking?
I think this is a shoddy little ghetto dock, so...
I know, but
Yeah.
it looks like out here there's like things.
I think that's outside of the town.
Oh, can we not see there?
No. There's
Yeah, that
Yeah, 'cause
black
it-
border is a wall.
And then this would probably be like a cliff.
and you're on like the lowest dock, so the literal like seawall like climbs up.
Mm-hmm.
So you're on like a sub dock. So there's another dock above your head, a wall next to you, the little end of the dock there. So the only real way you can go is like right, and you don't know where that goes.
Alright. I mean, we have someone who might, so Kjell's gonna be like, say, is there anywhere you want to walk to?
I've never been this low. Emotionally or physically.
I kind of assumed that, but just didn't say it. Emotionally or geographically.
You know, Nim has no clue where they are. Nor has she looked. Like, quite actually.
Well, I guess we'll just go this way. Merrymaker?
I'll catch up with you guys.
Alright.
And as Cello
You
walks
sort of-
off with Nim, roll perception.
Me?
You don't fucking trip on the rocks.
I don't expect Nim to roll perception because she's currently blinding herself.
Perceive
Yes.
the softness of Hyella's coat.
It is very soft.
Yeah?
Hey, that looks familiar.
That's,
Yeah.
wow, we're rolling a lot of twos.
Yeah.
Oh. God damn, a nat 22 and then just a regular flat 22.
Yeah, no, your
After, also,
passive
22.
perception is the highest I can roll.
dang. Oh yeah, I need to charge my phone.
So as you're walking with Nim, you see some fairly old and dirty guy, but you know, he's clearly dressed as like a worker. Heavy set, stocky body. Clearly this is a man who lifts things. Kind of just starts stomping past you both over to Samson and Zanzibar. Hey, you can't park that here. You gotta move it. And Samson, you see Zanzibar just stand up, full height, walk over to him, eclipsing him by like a good 2.5 feet.
This is not the gondola you're looking for.
I wish. Just
Zanzibar's
tell him,
not that
nope.
cool.
Mans can cast suggestion at fucking infinitive level.
It's called the Force.
Same shit.
True.
That is what the suggestion spell is based off of.
Yeah, actually, he's great.
Whoa. Don't say that, Shay.
I'm so powerful.
I can see the ego from here.
His ego! It's inflated!
Don't worry, Rebel can only be right once a camp.
Once a camp?
Once a camp.
campaign.
Well, time to make a mini campaign.
But yeah, Hyala will pause and look over her shoulder to watch.
And Zanzibar will just lean down into his face and just say, I am not in the mood. So take this platinum and get out of my sight. And then Zanzibar, as he looks down, he just sees Zanzibar with his fingers in a circle around a coin piece and the rest of his other fingers extended straight. Man is literally holding a platinum piece with a finger circle.
Woo!
That's not how that... I don't care. This is definitely more than you're being paid. I will give you more.
Well, damn, just
Keep your
assuming.
Keep your mouth shut. You didn't see it. You make sure it stays here, or I make sure your life gets a lot shorter. Are we clear? And he just slowly looks back at Zanzibar.
Whee.
And Zanzibar just shoves 2 more platinum pieces into his hands. Go.
He's officially been paid more than us.
Yeah, we did not get our remaining money, and I'm still salty about that.
You're gonna have to talk to the King of Everngol about that one.
I
tried.
would bring a cold, charred corpse from the grave to demand payment if I could, and I want you to know that.
Good.
Which we actually could. There's a spell for that, but that's a side tangent.
Samson, make being perception. Add advantage again. Hyala can too, if she's interested. DC 10.
Yeah, give me 1 second.
Damn, part of me is like, do I pickpocket that dockwork?
That platinum piece goes in one pocket and out the other.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Zanzibar had the rope trick where it's like, there's a hole in it he didn't see, so he pulls that out of the guy's pocket later.
That would be a sick. That would be awesome. Right, I clicked the thing.
Click it again.
Advantage.
Yeah. So you both see. You're not exactly positive why, because aside from the off the cuff, make your life shorter comment. It shouldn't be that intimidating. But it's almost like a flip switched in this guy's brain, and he's sweating. All of a sudden, he's very compliant. It's like, yes, sir. I didn't see nothing. No, don't worry about it. Yeah, I'll make sure it stays right there. Good. Now waddle. And he just turns around, he starts sauntering off. A very, very expeditious retreat, if you will.
Trips.
And as Zanzibar stands back upright, you'll notice he just closes his eyes, sighs, and cracks the left side of his neck. That's taken care of. No, look at Samson, which I'm assuming Samson's got some kind of face on, right?
Sad
The face of wanting to pickpocket.
That's the player. Samson wanted to pickpocket the guy. He probably would have been like, "Yep, you get on your way there, buddy." Yoink.
And pat him on the back, and then as
Yeah.
his hand snatch.
Yeah, pat him on the back, take his like wristwatch. You know, pickpocket stuff.
Stealing a man's wooden watch. Good lord.
Samson's just kind of watching Zanzibar for what he's gonna say or do.
What?
Nothing. I hope.
Well then, fine. And Zanzibar is just gonna like sit down amongst the stuff, you know, amongst the clutter of the dock. Just sit there and wait. What the Nim and the Yal are doing?
They talking.
They're talking.
Talk at us, so that we can know that you're talking. And by at us, I mean
talking.
talk on the stage.
But the world is our oyster.
Okay,
And
talk on your oyster.
Yeah.
Sorry, Larry doesn't like it when I talk on.
Well, he's not living like Larry then.
Yeah.
He's not, and he's very jealous.
Oh, yeah. It's Nim's turn to speak. If we.
Oh yeah, you're right. Hold on a sec.
Keep it going.
Let's see.
Him answers button like Goblin or some shit. What makes you not want to?
I mean, same. That is also why I don't want to. Just sort of in general.
Nims go Goblin mode.
Alright, let's get that mental image out of my head.
I think Nim would look cute as a goblin.
Nim looks cute, regardless, except right now. So, Nim is still, like, talking in, like, a very soft tone right now, by the way. And so she'll reply with, why would I want to? Like this.
Like what?
Wait, Nim can't point to her face.
Yeah, she can.
I mean, she can. It
She
just doesn't
knows
do
what.
anything.
Where it
Right.
is.
For
Wait a minute.
several reasons that be bad.
Wait a minute.
For Nim, specific.
Can't you just turn into a tabaxi?
No, because it's still it hide the spots, but like Nim would still have to talk to the headmaster looking like that.
Oh no, looking like a tabaxi. How awful.
No, because I don't think Nim should be disguised when she goes in. Does that make
Yeah.
sense?
Well, what does Nim think? Because Nim thought several things about going into this.
Okay, Nim has a long list. It's just a bit more skewed at the moment. But So then we'll go. But the way I look now, how am I supposed to be able to?
Well, you simply find a way to feel more confident. If that means hiding yourself in some way, or if it means saying, screw it, I'm pretty regardless. Whatever works best for you.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you guys, I just had the most fucked up thought possible.
Nim goes in invisible.
No. Nim could have replied with, that's what ugly people think, Yellow.
That would be so fucking funny. That'd be so fucking funny.
That's what ugly people think. You think I'm ugly?
But that
Yes.
that's
But that's besides the point. It's not about what I think, it's about what you think. So stop thinking that already, goddammit.
Yellow just starts slapping her and backhanding her alternatingly. Stop thinking you're ugly. You are,
But
but that's not the point.
so Nim will reply with
That's what ugly people think.
no.
I mean, she has a response.
What is it? Because I need to know, but that's not what Nim will say.
Nope.
Yeah, good luck. Man, imagine getting Jade to say things.
I don't get to. Y'all don't let us have a conversation in peace.
Oh yeah, because every other conversation is so uninterrupted.
So Nim will reply, actually, with, but if I don't look presentable at all times, it's harder.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
In what way?
Every way.
I'm not sure what every way entails.
That's because you have actual talent. I just have looks.
I'm not sure what you mean. We're going off to talk to someone, and that's hardly my specialty. You should have seen what I did back home. It was horrible.
Hold on a second. Here it is. Nope. Okay. Different thing. You can make up for that in your skill. I don't have that.
What do you mean? You have magical abilities beyond what most people can even comprehend. I mean, you saw how much Oakley's head was smoking at the concept of teleportation.
Oh,
How
so
old
that's
were
just
you when you
'cause
learned how to
you're
do that?
17.
See? And she's what? 50? 70? She's specifically appealing to Nim. She doesn't actually think Oakley's super old.
Lying
just-
for the greater good.
No, she's just making jokes that she thinks Nim would make. Because lightening the mood is
Yellow's
good.
deliberating doesn't
Damn,
even come off
Yellow's
like a
way
joke.
better at talking.
See, Samson, I told you it's so easy to talk with Yellow.
Oh yeah, sure, I just have to make myself ugly.
Don't worry,
Mary.
she already
Right,
thinks that
like
you're
it
ugly.
wait.
How's that working out for you, Nick?
Oh god, that's why Yellow wants to talk to Samson so much.
Because he's ugly?
Well, you have said that she doesn't find him physically attractive. She doesn't like him for his look. She likes him
Yeah,
for his
You're
personality.
physically repulsive, and I
Yeah,
love
but
that.
the same.
No, you're forgetting an important word in that statement is the word yet. Because familiarity plays a big role with it. She just thinks people who have bare skin look kind of weird because she's seen 5 of them up close.
So does a
And
person
2 of
with
them were
warts.
wrinkled.
Anyways, what was going on?
I don't remember what was said last.
Hyala called Oakley old as a joke
Oh,
to make
yeah.
him feel better.
And then we
Yeah,
all
she
lost
did
our
look to
shit.
be really old. Maybe that's why Samson doesn't get along with her. Old people are hard to deal with.
Are they? And then Hyala thinks about the elders. Yeah, I guess you're right.
Every old person we've met in this entire campaign has been so high strung, save for Hyala's grandma.
Yeah.
And
but she's
every
kinda
like
got-
less than old but still an adult has been chill as fuck.
Wait a
What?
minute. Boris wasn't high strung.
Yes, he is. He's high on something.
That's-
That man has tuned all
That
of his
is
guitar
not the
strings.
definition
That
of high
is
strung.
very much not
It's
the
the new
definition.
Also, I
High
forget
strung.
he's old.
Yeah, no, he's so positive that he feels youthful.
Nim hasn't seen him, so Nim can't arbitrarily decide how old he is or isn't.
I mean, yeah.
And right now, Nim thinks he's like a short man.
Oh god, that's still gonna be so fucking funny.
Nim hides.
Hello, friends of Yala! I am Boris! Not
Quick,
short.
there's a monster smoke cloud.
I am not a monster! Why does everyone
Quick, we heard its
say
feelings. Attack!
that? No!
Wow, I've never heard a man ugly cry like that. You should get that checked out.
Nah.
Ma'am, normally this isn't a special thing, but you're being really insensitive right now.
How am I being insensitive? I told him I hope he sees a doctor to fix his issue.
Well, what about that time that you had those warts and you literally shut down as a living person?
Yeah, but I'm a child. I can do that.
It looks like an adult to you. Point at Boris crying.
Icicles forming around his face.
It sounds like he's about to vomit.
Now I can't unhear that. Thanks, Shay.
You're welcome.
Alright, back on
But,
to
If
so
that's
Nim
not how that situation goes, it's gonna. I don't think it could be as.
I mean,
funny.
Nim probably wouldn't say half those things. But also, what was the last
on
thing?
the outside. Talking about how old people are hard to deal with.
Oh yeah, and then Kiala agreed. But like, how to phrase this issue in a way that Kiala gets it. Okay, quick question for Jade. Jade,
Hello.
how you doing? I'm kidding, that's not my question. But also, how are you? Because now I feel bad that I said that's not my question.
Oh.
And Jade begins to cry like Boris.
But has Kiala told Nim about her being like next in command for like leader or whatever?
Probably. At least vaguely.
Yeah. Okay. I just wanted to make sure this next thing I'm about to say actually would make sense.
Mm-hmm.
So then we'll go. You were chosen to be next in line because you're talented, right?
Well, no, and I'm not technically next in line for anything. I'm just being trained so that if I can, I can.
Do you think you can't?
I don't know. There are many talented people in the clan.
More than you?
Hard to say, I haven't been around much lately. But I'm certain there's others who would be interested in the spot and would do well in it.
Okay then. Leading a clan sounds like it sucks.
I'm not sure. I haven't really done it. I just know that Jadia does quite a bit. Of course, not everything. Most decisions are actually made by committee.
Those are the worst.
Well, it's better than leaving the decision in a single hand.
Yeah, but committees are full of old people with uptight views who don't want to change or progress.
Well, we do need the elders' approval generally, but it is the whole clan who ultimately decides.
I remember at a party once, one of the businesses in town was talking about poisoning one of the elders because they never listened to his ideals. If you need that berry, I can get it for you.
Well,
It doesn't kill them, it puts them in a really deep sleep.
if it's a sleep they can't wake up from, it's killing them.
Sleeping dogs don't lie. That helps.
Don't know how that applies.
It doesn't!
Nim, we're not dogs.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oof.
great. Sleeping cats waste their 9 lives, I think.
I don't know what the actual thing said. When did we veer off into that? Did Nim actually suggest murdering the elders?
No, but I
Okay.
kind of wanted to. Where's my coin?
I mean, I assume she told the story.
Yeah,
Neil
told
was
the
just
story.
like, well, that's extreme.
I don't know if we ever went through with it. I only saw him when I was like 6.
Oh, so Nim gets to kill elders.
Nim did not do that. Nim was talking about someone else.
She could get the poison.
I said that jokingly. The poison. It's not
But
the
you
issue.
said you wanted.
Yeah, I said I wanted to say it. Nim could very easily get various poisons if she wanted.
And not get kicked out of the store.
Yeah?
That was acid?
What's the
Which-
difference? Kidding.
Is a poison if you consume enough of it.
What did Kayla say to I don't know what happened?
She's just kind of like stuck in thought for a second. Also, is Nim saying all of this like into Hyala's shoulder still?
Yes.
Okay, just wanted to confirm.
Tis comforting. And the warmest Nim can physically get.
But all I'm trying to say is most people probably don't mind all that much if you look slightly less than the most amazing looking person on earth. Most people have different preferences anyways. And I do think you probably look better than you think you do. You're just so used to being able to control every aspect of your appearance that having a level of uncertainty must be frightening. Is that right?
I suppose that could be it.
Well, I don't think it's likely that Zanzibar is going to fix it until you can At the very least, pretend you're fine with it. And keep working. And then you should be able to get back to your old self.
Hold on, I need to decide what tone I need to say these words in.
Murderful.
Because I was going for whiny child, but yeah.
But
Bye,
What's that?
Mom.
Anyway,
how could I possibly go to the gala looking like this?
have a pimple, father. How am I supposed to go looking so disastrous? Anyway,
The magic of makeup.
Zanzibar should learn. So, don't know if I can convey this since I talk in a super flat tone all the time. So I will say the tone I'm going for. And if my words don't match, know that I tried, okay?
Woo!
Fuck, what's the word? I just had it.
That's a
Man.
pretty good tone.
Not quite devastated, but like a shaken worldview, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Nim is not on the cups of discovery before you get your hopes up.
Dum dum dum.
That wasn't
So,
getting my hopes up.
So Nim will clarify, Kiala.
Ah!
What was that?
Just got dropped in a bag of rice.
That's what that is.
Yeah.
You ride the waves of rice.
Damn.
Clarified yellow.
Clarified? Like the butter?
Yeah, like ghee.
Ghee! Bella turns into ghee.
Shala is now ghee.
Still holding him.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Nim is now covered in ghee.
Nim just got
You
geed.
shouldn't be wiping your face in ghee. I don't think that'll help things clear up.
I mean, it can't make it worse, because it's just... It's not caused by actual skin problems.
True, but her normal skin will just become all pimply.
That just changes it.
Goes on like a 7-day spa retreat. But Nim will explain. But I don't think you understand. Like, growing up, everything I did was watched. How I walked, how I talked, how I ate, how I dressed. Every time I set something on fire, every time I heard someone with magic, all of those things were scrutinized by people.
Well, save for those last two.
They were on accident, don't
They
worry.
watch how you set things on fire? That's immoral.
Cool!
They were concerned about
Did
you
they clap?
setting
They
things
better
on
have clapped.
They treated me
Smoking
like a
sick
criminal!
style!
They treated me like a criminal because I killed somebody.
They treated me like a criminal. What'd you do? A crime?
How immoral of them! Anyway, I'm sorry. Go on.
Yeah. Kel's like, well, you're not there anymore. You're here, and you have us. And if anyone wants to criticize you for things you either can't control or were on accident, you have Merrymaker and I to beat the shit out of them.
Sorry, I just wasn't expecting that. I imagine she's like so serious right now.
I mean, it is a joke, but she is also Kiala, so a lot of her words come out as very just like
Yeah.
straightforward. Like she's not telling an untruth, but it is also a joke.
It is a bit of a hyperbole in jest.
Unless it comes up, it doesn't need to happen.
Right. Like
I'm
so
joking. We won't beat the shit out of them. We'll kill them.
it's a joke, but also if somebody like points and laughs at Nim's face, Hyala will kick them into the sun. Like
Oh, they already do. I'm not liked here. Well, I am, but I'm also not. It's complicated.
Oh god, it's another Samson. Nobody
I was
likes
about to
me.
say, yes, okay, Samson.
Nobody
Yeah,
likes
oh,
me
man.
here,
So-
Kala. Oh, hi, Nim.
But
I'm
Nim
so
is
glad you're
aware.
back. And they all hated me.
People like me because I'm rich, not because of my personality.
Well, I mean, if you want them to like you because of your personality, then putting all your effort into your face doesn't make sense.
But the face is also super important.
Oh god,
Can't
they
have
don't like her
both.
personality because of how ritzy and vain she is. Oh, I wish she just cared about, like, normal things. Like, oh.
Nim does. Nim cares about what normal 17-year-olds care about.
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately.
I'm sorry, Nim is acting her age.
Nim, cut
Yeah,
it
what
out.
the fuck?
Act like a 40-year-old like Yala. We just gotta send you to war. That's what we gotta do.
That war will fix them kids is right. That's what it
The
do.
kids got it
Why
too
am I
easy.
sending her to war?
But yeah,
Back in my day, we used to kids to war. Yeah?
Yala's just gonna be like, well, you can always attempt to change that. If you see someone you knew from before, although I guess that would be a rather dangerous situation. You can always try and change the way you're perceived. There are first impressions, and those are important and can impact a lot, but I think if you actually spend more time with someone, it shouldn't be that hard to change their opinions. I think everyone has some knowledge that first impressions can be wrong.
There's so many ways to respond like that from that.
She's gonna continue with, and I don't think it's going to be that big of an issue just because you look a little different.
I don't think you've met the people I hang out with. I mean, maybe some of
I
them
have
do.
not.
Maybe some don't care, but what if they do?
Well, then why do you want to spend time with them? If you're concerned about the way you were constantly watched and scrutinized, then avoid the people constantly watching and scrutinizing. Find the people who
I do.
want
I
to cheer
ignore the
you
poor
on.
people.
Huh?
Kidding. I said I do. I ignore the poor people. I'm kidding.
Yay! Screw the pores.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi, Merrymaker.
Y'all is trying. I mean, what?
Yeah. The difference is like Hyala's worldview does not apply to
This.
anything
Society.
about Nim's society, and especially Nim's society. Like, yeah. Anyways,
So, in a surprising twist from like an actual issue to a non-issue, and I'm gonna be like, but how am I supposed to win back Felix like this? And Hyala would have heard about him before.
was Felix the one you just left?